Salve omnes, welcome to this video lesson on section 3 of the Fabulae Faciles. And here we're looking at Perseus's myth again. Perseus is sent on his travels. Perseus igitur, Perseus therefore, multos annos ibi habitabat, lived, habitabat, notice the BA imperfect, lived there, ibi, for many years, multos annos. Now, if you want to say for many years or for many miles or for many of any other time or space dimension amounts, this in Latin goes into the accusative case. So thus, multos annos here is an accusative plural, for many years. In English, we like to put the for in there. If you say how tall somebody is, X number of feet tall, this would go in the accusative as well. If you say how wide something is, that's going to go into the accusative. Any dimension of space or time, you describe the extent of that by giving accusative case. So, therefore, Perseus lived there for many years, multos annos, et cum matre, and with his mother. I should take the sua with that, right? That's the his or his own. Et cum matre sua, and with his mother, vitam beatam agebat. He, and again, ago agere literally means do, so it's like he did a blessed life or a happy life. But how do we say that in English idiom? We would say he lived a happy or blessed life. Okay? At polydectes. Now, at is a stronger synonym of said, S-E-D, and it means but or yet. But polydectes, danaen magnopere amabat. Loved Danae very much, greatly, magnopere. So magnopere is an irregular adverb for greatly or very much. Danaein, notice her name Danae, it ends with an E in the nominative. Here in the accusative, we see it ends with en. This is actually a first declension Greek word. Now, in Latin, first declension, accusative singular would end with am, so it'd be like Danaam. But a lot of times with Greek names, they will use the Greek declension endings. And the two most common Greek declension endings for accusative singular are going to be a vowel plus n, like we have here, danaein, and then the other would be a short a. You get that on the accusative singular of third declension nouns in Greek. Okay, so again, the short thing here is danaein is accusative singular feminine Greek name here. Danae, with just the E on the end, is the nominative form. Okay, but Polydectes loved Danae very much, greatly, magnopere. Atque eam in matrimonium ducere volebat. And he wanted, atque volebat. And then this is another Latin idiom, ducere eam in matrimonium, literally to lead, ducere, her, eam, into matrimony, into marriage. Now, what does it mean to lead her into marriage? Well, just to marry her, right? So this is a pretty normal way to say this in Latin. You could also say, eam uxorem ducere volebat. He wanted to lead her as wife. That's another common idiom for this. So these are normal ways to say a guy to marry a girl, okay? I say guy to marry a girl because there's another verb, nubo nubere, which means for a woman to marry a man. Take it the other way around. Okay, hoc tamen consilium. This plan, nevertheless, this idea, nevertheless, we could say for concilium. Concilium is plan, counsel, or idea. This plan, nevertheless, perseo minime gratum erat, was very little pleasing, was not pleasing, in other words, minime gratum, to Perseus. In other words, he didn't like the idea of the king marrying his mom. Polydectes igitur, therefore Polydectes, Perseum dimittere constituit, decided, constituit, to send away Perseus. And let me just note here on constituit. Constituit is from constituo, constituere, constitui. And this verb to decide, to establish, to set up, it's a compound of statuo, statuere, and you might notice it's kind of related to status in English, which status is the standing of something. It's from the base root of the Latin verb sto stare, steady status, which means to stand. So if you know that the base verb is statuo, staturere, and that means to set up or to stand up, you can see how you metaphorically get from that to something like establish or decide. You set it up in your mind. It's good to know the base meanings because sometimes verbs will be used, physically, and sometimes they'll be used more metaphorically, like here. So, therefore, Polydectes decided, established, to send away Demetere Perseus. And notice Demetere is where we get dismiss from as well. All right, tum Euanim ad se Wokawit. Then he called Wokawit, the young man Euanim, to himself, ad se. Et haec dixit, and he said these things. Turpe est, it is disgraceful. Hanc ignawam vitam agere, to live agere, this sort of lazy life, I might say, for ignawam, or maybe cowardly life would be even better. This inactive life. So he's trying to shame Perseus, saying, hey, you're just lazing around on this island. You're supposed to be some kind of hero or something, right? I mean, isn't your dad Zeus, right? Why are you lazing around here? It's shameful. It's disgraceful. I should note here again, agere, the base meaning that we usually think of is do. But again, since vitam, life, is the direct object, you want to say something like live this lazy or inactive life, right? Yam dudum, now long since. That's kind of an idiom to put those two together. Yam by itself is now or already, but you put it with yam dudum. Long since now. Tu adolescens es. You have been a young man. Now, es literally just means you are. Now long since you are a young man. It's the equivalent of in English when we say you have been a young man for a long time now. Quo usque hic manebis. Till what point, quo usque, will you stay here, manebis hic? So basically he's saying, like, are you going to laze around here forever? You've been a young man for a long time now. Don't you want to go out and prove your manhood? Tempus est, it is time, arma capere, to take up arms. That's another idiom. To take up arms means to grab your weapons and your armor, right? Et virtutem praestare, and to show your virtue, your excellence, your manliness. Virtus comes from vir, which of course means man in Latin. To show your manliness, your courage. Hinc abi, go away from here. Et caput Medusae mihi refer, and bring back, refer, the head of Medusa, or Medusa's head, caput Medusae, to me, mihi. All right, well, that gets us to the end of section 3, and I hope you learned a few things here. Well,